So, the core and the essence of the work that we need to do ourselves, but also with our kids, is around emotional self regulation and social intelligence. But what are these things? So, simply put, emotional self regulation is your ability to calm yourself down when you're feeling upset or overwhelmed. There's more to it, but let's begin with that simple definition. And so, what is upset and overwhelm? There's a stress component to it, and there's an emotional component to it. So, difficult, unpleasant emotions like fear, anxiety, anger, shame, guilt, depression, all of these, disgust. Um, yeah, so it's also got to do with our drives and urges. And so we don't think of those as emotions, but they are more instincts. But they are also things that we need to feel and regulate and express, So, yeah, so let's begin with stress. Stress is a kind of a pressure. It can be around your schooling and your studies, or around your work and deadlines, or it can be around your finances, or many different things that are stressors. But what it does is it causes this cortisol cascade within the body that, yes, on the one hand, it keeps us focused and motivated, but on the other hand, it can have some really detrimental effects. So, like, we tend to think that stress is a bad thing and we don't want it and we want to get rid of it. But actually, there's this stress curve where there's an optimum sweet spot where stress is really motivates us to be focused and creative and productive. But then there's also the not enough stress where we become apathetic and yeah, there's no incentive to do something. But then on the other side, there's too much stress, which is can be overwhelming and it can be confusing, and it can affect your health, it can affect your sleep, it can affect your relationships, and many other things. So many of us have different coping strategies around stress, and the typical one is to smoke. So smokers are using this drug, the substance nicotine, which binds with certain receptors in the brain and modulates this acetylcholine, uh, anxiety and stress uh, feature in the brain. Yeah, other people use um, coffee and tea. That's caffeine to get a little burst of focus and this ability to pay attention and to concentrate. And some people use more heavier substances and drugs. And so the problem is not the drug itself, but what, how you're trying to cope and manage your stress. And so as a child, if no one was there to help you to calm yourself down and to develop healthy coping mechanisms, you would have just done whatever was possible at the time. And later in life, these become really maladaptive and counterproductive. And so, yeah, besides substances, there's also other kinds of addictions, like shopping is one addiction, so as a compensation for lack of positive feeling and genuine good emotion, go and buy something. And, it makes you happy for a little while. Gamblers go and gamble and they lose and they win, and the rush and the thrill of it keeps them occupied. The whole idea is to project your attention out there so that you don't have to feel in here. So the stress is happening, the physiological part of it, the cortisol and the heart racing and the tensions and the clenchings and all of that is happening, but you're projecting your attention out there so you don't have to feel it. And you can watch movies or watch series or you can, there are many ways to distract yourself and entertain yourself, and better coping mechanisms. You want to replace them with better, healthier alternatives. Turn your attention back to the body and feel your way back into the sensations and the dis-ease and the discomfort inside of the body, and mainly to recognize this cortisol feeling that's like around the belly and the heart area. And that's really what we want to work with and breathe into. So, yes, there's a component of self awareness and self calming, but also we are lacking those comfort pathways. So, we need someone who does have it, who can show us how to do it, if you have someone in your life who's a calming influence, spend time with them, talk to them, explain to them your problems, give them an opportunity to calm you down and soothe you. And if you don't have a person like this, you can get a professional, a psychologist or a healer, or genuine felt sense of calm that you get with this person.